Hi, Mike.
Hey,
How you doing?
doing good.
Me too. It's been a while since we do one of these. Welcome back to Warm Takes. Branded. Yay. If you like the shirt, you know,
Yes, buy it, please.
we have weird jobs and no jobs. So you could help us out. Get some merch. It's actually pretty nice. Cheaply made though.
Yes,
Cool. So, I think this is episode 5.
maybe.
It's either 5 or 6. I'm gonna say 5 officially. Episode 5. For today, we have somebody who I have to admit is kind of a bitch to make this to because the man has no warm takes. It's all hot or cold takes. Very fucking difficult. He's a pirate man, Mr. Kaleb Koho.
Yes.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. This is gonna be fun. I have no idea what takes you think are hot or warm or cold, so this will be interesting. I'm excited to be berated for my Batman Returns opinions.
It may or may not be here. Because I may consider that too hot. Also, because of reason, we have a third guest here who's not gonna get judged. He's just gonna judge Koho. So, hey Matt,
Hey guys.
Brand is sporting that beautiful merch. Show it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to the link below. Good shit. Yes, I sold out like a bitch. Still,
Buy a shirt, you get to be on the show. It's a good deal.
Exactly.
yes, that's actually true. I may actually make a show for you, especially if you buy my shit. So, let's get things going.
Okay. Straight phone.
Warmest take of all. Cats half a star. I watched this movie. I fell asleep during this movie. I woke up and I felt like I didn't miss anything. Whoa. Doesn't deserve Mr. Ian McKellen 1 star for saying meow?
So I never intended on watching this movie. But I may or may not have been under the influence and coerced into watching this film by one Adelaide Spence and Cameron Holtzman. And this is not one that you want to watch anyway, period. But watching it not sober is not fun. So yeah, half a star, maybe a little extreme, but I stand by that movie is fucking insane and not for me at all.
Mr. Matt Queller, do you think this movie would have been made better if they put the anuses on the cats?
Oh yeah, when the butthole cut comes out in like a few years, I mean, all these reviews are gonna be like 3 or 4 stars for sure.
Fair. Next one. We got The Lion King at 1.5. This is a beloved children's tale. Also, why would a 1.5 movie have a heart?
Okay. The heart, I think, is an accident. Because I fucking hate this movie. I think the only reason why I gave it 1.5, I gave it a 1 star for the Circle of Life opening, which I think is really cool. Everything after this is heartless and soulless and joyless, and just everything about this movie. The original is one of the greatest films ever made. So to take it and just tweak random things here and there, like the feather that they find to reveal that Simba is alive comes from a fucking ball of shit. Like, that makes no sense. It's stupid. I hate it. I think all the performances, for the most part, are really joyless and emotionless. And that's not the actor's fault. That's the animation's fault. I like Billy Eichner as Timon. I think he does a really solid job. I think Donald Glover does a really good job singing as Simba. I don't think he was like perfect voice acting material for Simba, but he sings Simba's lines really good. Seth Rogen is a solid, so like I gave like a half star for like Eichner and Glover singing voice, but on the whole, this movie does not need to exist, and I think it's really pointless and bland.
You did not mention Chiwetel Ejiofor, and that makes you a racist. Mike, this is your favorite animated film of 2019. He just trashed it. What do you feel about it?
It is not my favorite animated film. 1.5 is I guess kind of rough. Like 2.5 I could see. But yeah, visuals are great. Everything else can pretty much agree with.
They also didn't censor fart it. That was weird.
That was weird.
Pirates of the Caribbean. But you're the Pirates, man. So what the hell? 1.5 in this one. I mean, universally accepted, not the greatest, but I don't think it's the worst one.
Oh, I stand by this is the absolute worst Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's an abomination of the franchise. The first three are such a perfect trilogy. They all work together really well. The story flows through each one, and the characters just like have their complete arcs, and it all wraps up nicely. And then this one's just like the opening with Jack is worth a star. With King George, I think that captures the spirit of the original trilogy well. But as soon as Angelica and Blackbeard sort of come in, and we get into mermaids and the Fountain of Youth, all of it loses more and more the spirit of what Pirates of the Caribbean is. And that mainly comes because this is a straight up adaptation of a book that they just put the name Pirates of the Caribbean on, which is like kind of stupid because the story doesn't even feel like a Jack Sparrow story. They kind of just shoehorn Jack Sparrow into a pre-existing story. That's why Barbossa has a peg leg in this one, because the character that you would normally follow had a peg leg. I just think this movie is a fucking mess and just a travesty to the first three, because the fifth one is at least captures some semblance of the fun of the original first three and feels like it's connected to the first three. This one looks like the first three, but it isn't the first three, and that's what I hate the most, because Rob Marshall can't direct to save his life.
I did not pay enough attention in the fifth one. Does Barbossa get his leg back, or he still has a peg leg in the fifth?
Still has a peg leg.
Matt Queller, this is your favorite Pirates of the Caribbean movie. What do you think about Mr. Koho's opinion?
Yeah, this is definitely a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I saw it probably about 5 or 6 times less than Koho, I'm sure. But I think there's mermaids in it, right? Yeah, mermaids are in this one. I see a mermaid on there. Yeah, mermaids are cool.
Penelope Cruz does make a sexy Jack Sparrow, though. Boom! Batman and Robin, 1.5. This movie deserves the heart more than The Lion King. But yeah, it's pretty universally understood that this movie is not good. Why so low, though? You do not like ice puns?
No, the star and a half is for the ice puns. I don't like anything else in this movie. I think this movie is cheesy, campy. It's a bad movie, but I can enjoy it. It's a fun bad movie. But I also completely recognize that Batgirl's pretty terrible. Robin's pretty terrible. I think George Clooney is not the worst as Batman, but like in this movie, he's an awful Batman. But like he could have made a good Batman. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a terrible Mr. Freeze, but his puns are really funny. Uma Thurman was the right choice to get for Poison Ivy, but her characterization is terrible. Bane is a waste. Like, this movie just is a complete misfire on just about every conceivable level. It's not a Batman movie, really, but it's a really fun mess.
Mike, what is the name of the guy from Gremlins 2? The one that owned the building.
Oh, shit. It's
something Glover?
Yeah.
Well, he also played Lionel Luthor in Smallville, and he's the guy who turns Poison Ivy into Poison Ivy in this movie.
Yeah.
Florida,
before she rejects him, he just fucking screams, "I guess it's time to die!" That is my favorite scene of this movie. Fucking great take. Also, I did not know Batgirl was in this movie. I just thought it was Alicia Silverstone. Boom! Captain Marvel. 2 stars, but a heart. Sir, are you not woke?
This is the worst movie in the MCU. Like, I stand by that. So the first time I saw it, I was just really underwhelmed. It was like, this is meh. And then I watched it again this year for the rewatch for the first time since theaters, and I was like, oh, No, this is pretty actively bad in a lot of ways. Like anytime Nick Fury and Captain Marvel are together, the movie has a pulse and it's fun, and everything on the Kree planet I think is good and interesting, and I care more about that. But it's whenever I'm alone with Captain Marvel or like Jude Law, or even when Ronan comes back for some reason, that I don't care. I think the action in this is pretty generic and bland, and like doesn't really stand out. I think it's pretty poorly directed. The story doesn't quite really gel or make a whole lot of sense. Goose is cute. Nick Fury loses his fucking eye from a fucking alien cat, which is so stupid. The biggest thing that I think the other big thing that hurts this movie is I watched the entire MCU in chronological order this time. So this was movie number 2 right after the first Avenger. And they are calling themselves S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 90s. And then the next one you watch is Iron Man, and they don't have the name S.H.I.E.L.D. yet in 2008. So it's like it's a weird continuity error that actually just really annoys me. On the whole, I don't know why. I think I gave it a heart the first time I saw it, but yeah, no, 2 stars is Captain Marvel is the worst movie in the MCU.
Matt, are you more woke than Kaleb?
I mean, the part where she stands up is amazing. But I mean, this movie, it brings Kevin Smith into the MCU with the Mallrats script.
Hell
And
yeah.
there's a blockbuster which features the film Kiss of Death, that means that Samuel L. Jackson is an actual person in the MCU. So I mean, there are lots of great things. So.
Those things bother me more than the S.H.I.E.L.D. thing.
True.
Good point. My wife is a female and she did not love that movie, so I don't know how woke is it. Now, this is trash. How the fuck do you give this movie 2 stars and a heart? This is probably on my top 6 Wes Anderson films. The only reason it's not in the top 5 is because Fantastic Mr. Fox is in there.
I don't like Wes Anderson. I'm pretty outspoken on it.
Are you Cody Newberry?
Cody and I agree on a lot of Wes Anderson opinions. I just don't like him. I don't think his style just doesn't connect to me. I can respect it. Like, he's very meticulous in how he makes his movies, and that's fine. But I don't gravitate to the weird sort of characters and story he creates. They're just not for me, and Isle of Dogs was that to the nth degree. I can say the score by Desplat was good. It was passable. I wouldn't have nominated it. I think that anything stop motion deserves a little bit of respect because it's really fucking hard to do. And so I'll always give it like the respect that it exists. But like, yeah, I don't love it. I don't know why there's a heart there. Probably because I saw it with my girlfriend at the time and she really liked it. She was a big Wes Anderson fan. So, but Isle of Dogs was just not for me. I think the only Wes Anderson that I've seen that I've been like, yeah, that was really good was the Grand Budapest Hotel. So.
God damn it, I knew you were going to say that. I hate that fucking movie. Why everybody likes the Grand Budapest Hotel? It's the least. Okay. I'm going to move on to this. Mike,
Yes.
you like dogs. Do you like this movie?
Yes. Now, this has Jeff Goldblum as a voice, so it should at least be 3 fucking stars.
Exactly.
But I do agree with Koho that Wes Anderson is an acquired taste. I enjoy Wes Anderson, so I'm on that side of the fence. But yes, I do see why people don't like him.
I can see that those people are wrong. So that's good. Boom! Alice in Wonderland. Tim Burton. 2 stars. But you know what? Fair. Yeah, we don't need to talk about this one. Nice. Boom! Death Proof. Tarantino. 2 stars. Sir, you are testing the waters here.
He's already tested the waters. Fuck.
This is
He's gonna fucking do
this is why I brought Matt Valerie. Especially for this one. Explain yourself.
I don't love it. I think I like the first half of the movie a lot more than the second. I think on the whole, it's well made in the sense that he's doing Tarantino made exactly the movie he wanted to make, so I respect it. I don't like the movie he made per se. It's not my kind of movie. This is a very Mike kind of movie. So I totally get it. It's very much like a 70s B horror movie, 80s B horror movie type. And like I just wasn't into it. I think like Kurt Russell's good. Stuntman Mike. He's good. But on the whole, this is my second least favorite Tarantino. I don't vibe.
Whoa. What's the worst one?
I'm surprised you don't have that one coming up.
Maybe it was too hot, I'll take. I don't know.
I hate Jackie Brown. That's my least favorite Tarantino.
Oh, god damn it. Get out of here. No, fuck this shit. I mean, this is the first time we take a person twice in the same fucking movie. Let's stop with the fucking thing.
He said Kurt Russell was only good.
Yeah,
He was good.
I've heard that.
He's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, but only good. Kurt Russell was
Matt Queller.
good.
This man says he likes the part where men kill women, but he doesn't like the part where the women kill men. He's not woke at all.
That checks out completely.
Do you like this movie?
Oh yeah, it's great. I will concede to Koho that maybe Planet Terror is the more fun of the two, the double feature, but this is a great movie.
This one has Kurt Russell and the other has Bruce Willis. I think that speaks enough for itself.
That's true. I think I'd rather watch Death Proof than Planet Terror.
Maleficent, 2 stars. You do not like Disney live-action remakes, do you?
Depends on the remake. Some of them hit for me harder. I don't really like Sleeping Beauty to begin with. It's not a story that I really gravitate to. Not that it's bad. It's just not one that I've ever really like attached to. I thought this take could have been really cool, and the villain of it is dog shit. And Maleficent herself is okay. I thought Angelina Jolie was just kind of fine. She's here. It's okay, I guess. It's not like an outright abomination, but it's not quite good enough to be like a 3-star right down the middle mediocre. So 2 stars. I don't know why this ever needed a sequel. My mom really likes this movie, so I've seen this movie a lot, and I don't like it anytime that I watch it.
The sequel is in Disney Plus, which means I could watch it anytime I want, and yet I don't.
Same.
This movie includes a date rape scene, basically, with the drugging and the wingings. Yeah, this movie's not woke either. Mike, what do you think about Maleficent?
I have not seen it, so I cannot say if I agree or disagree with Koho.
That is a non-take. Boom! From dusk till dawn.
Jesus fuck.
2 stars.
Jesus fucking Christ. What is going on here?
Some
Okay.
people might consider this take hot. That would be one of those people's, but Jesus, I had Mike here, so I needed to put this in. What the fuck, man?
So here's the thing. Is this movie fun as fuck? Absolutely. Is it a good time? Sure. Is it legitimately good? No. I think the script's kind of awful. Like, some of the dialogue is super cheesy. George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino are, like, hamming this shit up to the nth degree. Salma Hayek is, like, just nth degree of cheese. This movie is cheesy. It's not actually like a legitimately good movie, but it is a fun watch. But this is a very Mike movie that I can totally understand why you like, but it's not a movie that I'm ever really gonna watch again.
Dude, Tito and Tarantula play a band in the titty bar, which instruments are fucking people's pieces, set up as guitars and shit. What the hell? Mike, tell him why he's wrong.
Well, like you said, the fucking band not only does, they kill themselves because they're too fucking afraid to deal with. Fuck you all, good night. They blow themselves up, and it has the sex machine, Tom Savini, with a fucking gun that you fucking grind.
Matt Queller, I have a trivia question for you. How many roles does Cheech Marin play in From Dusk Till Dawn?
3.
Hey, good. See? Fucking memorable shit. Koho doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I never said it's not memorable. It's just it's not for me.
Oh my god.
Tintin from Mr. Spielberg.
This is where Holtzman kills me.
This movie actually is pretty great. I don't understand the hell he's talking about. This was supposed to be a trilogy. Peter Jackson was going to make a sequel, and this movie is entertaining as fuck. love Thompson and Thompson. I love Tintin. I love Little Snowy. What is your issue with this movie?
It's not that okay. I didn't like this when I saw it when I was 11. I haven't seen it since.
Maybe you should.
I probably should. This is one I probably overdue for a rewatch. But I didn't like the style. I thought it was really weird and off-putting and disconcerting, and that really just tuned me out of the movie all the way through. I don't think it's like a necessarily a bad movie. I just could never get past the Polar Express animation. I hate that. And like
it's better animated than Polar Express.
It is. I will give it that. It is better than Polar Express in animation for sure. But it's still too close in the style of Polar Express, and I hate the Polar Express. So yeah.
Mike Hanley, he just trashed your favorite director of all time. What do you gotta say?
Well, he technically did not trash him, so I'm not going to.
Spielberg is a god. Okay.
Planet right now.
11-year-old Koho did it.
But yeah, motherfucker, 2 stars. Are you insane? No. You lucky I don't fucking take you out of this right now. But I'll save it. I'll save it again.
I wonder if we will get to the point where Mike will actually throw you out of the call.
We'll see.
Bright. 2 stars and a heart. What is this heart shit on bad reviews? It's several already.
Mike knows exactly why I really wanted to like this movie. I really wanted to love this movie because the script is really, really solid. The actual script, not the one that they made in the movie. The Fairy Lives Don't Matter Today is not in the script. That is an improvised line. And it's the improvisation and direction that makes this movie bad. I think that certain parts of this are really good. I think like the hair and makeup's really good. I think the general concepts and ideas of Bright are good. I just think it's executed pretty terribly. Yeah, 2 stars might be a little too generous. I really wanted to like this movie. And yeah, it's the worst by a certain person.
I do not know why you get Joel Edgerton to make him look not like Joel Edgerton. But still, it's in there. I have not seen this movie. Mr. Matt Queller, how many times have you seen this movie?
I have seen this movie at least once, and I did not put a heart by it.
Sure. I shouldn't put a heart by it. That was probably a guttural reaction of just like, I need to like this movie.
Did your ex-girlfriend love this movie too?
No. This one was just all me trying to like a movie that I had no business liking.
Fair. Next movie. Pacific Rim Uprising. 2 stars. I'm going to agree with you here. This movie's bad. I actually think you went a little higher than I would have gone. Because fucking yikes.
Yeah. It's not great. I had fun with it in the theater. Like, it wasn't like the most abomination of a time, like a waste of time. I don't think it was a like fantastic movie by any means. The Jaeger action was solid. The opening chase with the Jaegers was cool. But like all in all, John Boyega is fine and everyone else is bad. Charlie Day is really bad in this one, and that made me sad because he was my favorite part of the first one.
Scott Eastwood was also here, and he also sucks.
Ugh. Has he ever been good in anything, though? Can we be honest?
I think as Little Mr. Nobody, he's okay because Kurt Russell makes it fun.
That's true.
I gotta say, I like the small Jaeger thing at the beginning, the one made out of trash that the little girl drives. I thought that was really cute. And also, why the fuck does Charlie Day get the thing in the brain from the kaiju, but the other guy doesn't? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Exactly, makes no sense.
This movie's soulless. Mike, you like this better than the original. Why?
I love the original. I hate this fucking movie. This movie sucks balls. So yes, I agree with Ko. Actually, it should be less.
It probably should be less, to be honest. I haven't seen this in theaters.
I have a fucking...
Given it the same as fucking
Danger.
and I should take you out for that shit.
I have a Gypsy Danger stating in fucking inches big. And that piece of trash in the screen is Gypsy Avenger, which makes no sense. 2 nuclear things? Why? Overkill. That's what I said. Next movie. RoboCop remake. 2 stars. You're lucky that Holtzman is not here. He likes remake shit. Why is this movie bad?
This is the only RoboCop I've ever seen.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I've never watched any of the old ones. My dad really likes the old ones, and he was like, "Let's go see the remake." And so I went and saw the remake, and it wasn't good. Wasn't a good movie. I had fun because of the experience of seeing it with my dad, and I think the black robotic look is cool. But other than that, it's not a good movie. Michael Keaton as the villain could have been really, really cool, and it wasn't. Yeah, I haven't seen it since theaters, but I remember it not being great.
This movie has nothing to do with the original.
No.
Nothing at all. Not even a little bit. Matt Queller, how do you feel about the remake of RoboCop?
Yeah, I think the only reason that Koho even gave it 2 stars is because he hasn't seen the original.
Right.
Yeah.
If I had an attachment to the old one, it'd be
Keaton.
lower.
I like Michael Keaton, but he's trash in this movie.
You got a paycheck though.
So, I'm going to invite you to a new show we're going to make, and we're going to fucking watch RoboCop. Good shit. Boom. Batman, The Killing Joke.
Oh no.
2 stars.
Oh no.
I'm going to say something that people may not expect from me. This rating is okay. Because half of this movie is fucking great.
Right.
And the other half, I don't know what was going on there. Which half, though? Do you know?
The second half of the movie that is an adaptation of The Killing Joke, basically beat for beat, is fucking amazing.
Exactly.
With Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. Like, the smartest idea ever was, let's do The Killing Joke with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and do it R-rated and do the exact adaptation of the book with those voices. The bad idea was, hey, why don't we pad this out to make it an hour? Yeah. All the stuff that they add to the first half is bad. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't enhance anything. It's a bad adaptation in that sense. The moment it becomes The Killing Joke, this thing goes from being like a half star to 2 stars. Just like, because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna give it a full rating because half this movie is awful. But the 2 stars that I gave it for was for the second half of the movie, which is on fire. This whole thing just dials itself up to 11 in the best way. But yeah, the whole first half is not great.
I don't think they could justify releasing this as a 40-minute thing, which they probably should have. And I gave this movie a positive review because it's not really 50-50. It's more like 70-30. Because they had a good chunk 40-minute movie with The Killing Joke, but they needed to make it feature, so they put it the extra 20 minutes. And even though it's fucking trash, because it is, the Batgirl and Batman shit, I mean, we all know this kind of Paul Dini's thing. He always wanted them to hook the fuck up. He did it in Batman Beyond, and now you gave him rain on this. He's fucking gonna make them hook up. That's his thing. Just like he also wants Harley Quinn to fuck Robin, and that also happened.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Fair. Let's say fair, but I would recommend just skipping 20 minutes and watching the rest of that movie. Teen Titans Go to the movies. 2 stars. This movie is actually kind of funny. I don't understand why you don't like it.
So Teen Titans Go is an acquired taste. It is either you're on board with the over-the-top, bright, colorful, manic story you're seeing, or you're not, and I just wasn't. I think the jokes are all work. I think that the movie industry joke commentary is shallow but funny. I think my favorite part of this movie is the fucking time travel bit. Is so dark and unexpected, and I remember reeling in my seat, being the only one in the theater, going, "What the actual fuck? Did they just murder the Justice League for her again?"
Kind of.
It was insane. The post-credit scene was my favorite part of the movie too, just because that's my Teen Titans. And then they were supposed to make the sequel in theaters, and I went direct to DVD, and I never ended up watching it. But
you probably should. Actually, I think the Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans movie kind of, I mean, it's not as funny as this one because this is all for the jokes. But that one actually holds up better for the duration. I think this one runs out of steam about 3/4 of the movie in, and you start feeling the padding.
Yeah.
Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans is actually more streamlined. And I actually own that shit, so I might borrow it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I should
Matt
revisit
Miller,
it.
have you seen Teen Titans Go to the movies?
I have definitely had this on while I was in the same room with it. I remember there was a Lion King gag in it, which I think was better than the 2019 Lion King. That's pretty much all I remember about it, yeah.
Mike, do you actually think that the Bat Belt would get a movie before Robin?
Yes.
Fair. Next movie. That's the same movie. Next one. The Core. With Hilary Swank, Oscar-winning actress. 2 stars.
I watched this for school.
What?
Yeah, there's like in high school, whatever the teacher didn't want to teach, like in different classes, they would throw on a movie. Science was always my least favorite one, like subject period, and then they'd throw on movies, and 8 times out of 10, they wouldn't actually make sense with what we were supposed to be studying. So like the core came on while we were studying astronomy, and I don't really understand the correlation. But this was probably my most enjoyed science movie that we watched in that class, just because it was stupid as fuck. I hate Hilary Swank in almost everything. I think she's an awful actress. And I don't know why she has an Oscar. Because even her performance in that, I don't love.
Not woke at all.
But you know who's really, really good in this? Because he's almost never bad in anything. Is Stanley Tucci. I think he's really decent in this. But yeah, on the whole, pretty forgettable, not great. And I watched it in school, so that just is another ding against it.
She won an Oscar for being a girl pretending to be a boy and getting killed for it. You really are not woke at all. The science in this movie is not actually real. So it's weird that they show it on the science.
Right? It makes no sense.
But yeah, it's kind of rough. Mike, do you like the core?
See, I love disaster movies, but I hate the fuck out of this movie. It's this and Geostorm, and I go, God damn, I just can't do it for the. I can't. It's so stupid.
I gotta be fair, man. I like this better than Geostorm. Geostorm is something else. Let's move on.
Geostorm is his own monster.
Hereditary. Ari Aster. 2.5 star, and on Halloween month. I do dig the heart. Was that because of your girlfriend too?
Nope, that was a mistake. I don't love this one. I went in because everyone was like, you gotta watch it before you make your ballot for the 2018 Oscars thing when we brought that to multiplex. And everyone was like, you need to watch it for Toni Collette. You're gonna love this movie. And I was like, this shit sucks. I'm not a horror guy to begin with. That's not my genre. I can get into certain kinds of horror. This is not my brand of horror.
Good horror?
Toni Collette, no. Scream and New Nightmare meta horror is my brand of horror. But Hereditary, I thought was fine. I didn't think any of the performances were really anything super special, except maybe Toni Collette, which I thought was doing a really solid job, but she's doing a solid job in everything. But yeah, this movie is not great for
There's
me.
a girl who gets decapitated by a telephone pole in this
Yep,
movie.
that was the moment I was like, yep, this isn't for me.
That is the movie I got sold the fuck out of this movie. Matt Queller, do you like Ari Aster's masterpiece Hereditary?
I actually enjoyed this one, yes. I think Toni Collette was fantastic. Should have got an Oscar nomination that year. And I think that if you look at this movie where the ending, if you look at it as a comedy, where what happens doesn't really happen and he just has to go along with it for the rest of his life and pretend, I think that improves it, makes it a better, fun movie.
That's fair. Boom! Phantom Thread. Really? Paul Thomas Anderson, 2.5 stars in the latest film by Daniel Day-Lewis. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I am not a PTA fan.
That's pretty clear.
That's I've liked 2 movies of his. I've liked The Master and I've liked Boogie Nights. And everything else that I have seen, I have not loved. I did not like Magnolia. I did not like this. I did not like Inherent Vice. I could say Daniel Day-Lewis is really good, but that's about it. The score's fine. I think Lucas is insane for how much he loves that score and this movie in general. Because I contemplated walking out in the first 20 minutes because I was just like, what the fuck is happening? I don't think what's her name? Laurie Manville should have been nominated. Leslie Manville. Sorry, I just conflated Laurie Metcalf and Leslie Manville. Leslie Manville should not have been nominated. She's not great. Should not have won costume design, if I'm being honest. Like, the costumes in this are fucking just one pink dress and the green dress, and that's it. Cool. You're
fucking killing me, man. Really.
This movie is it's just not great. I'm not a fan. It's so boring.
Mike, do you like the Phantom Thread?
I have not seen this yet, actually.
Fuck. Matt, do you like the Phantom Thread?
This was a fantastic follow-up to The Phantom Menace. I'm looking forward to the first film. Wrap it up.
You got me, motherfucker. Okay. Let's move on because this is a fucking trash take. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. 2.5 stars and a fucking heart? What's with the fucking hearts and the crap it reveals, man?
I am not a Harry Potter fan. I came to the franchise very late. I enjoy half the movies. This is the worst Harry Potter by a landslide for me. I think the story is shit. I think all the kids don't really give a fuck in this one as much. I think Kenneth Branagh is the only person worth watching in this movie because he's having a fucking blast. Everything else, John Williams even phones it in with the fucking score. Like, it's so weird. This entire movie, it comes out a year after the first one. They made them pretty much at the same time. And it feels like it was made 30 years later and they didn't care anymore. Which makes no sense because they made it at the same time as the first one, which has so much magic and whimsy to it. I don't know. I don't like this one. Cody loves this one. This is like his favorite one, and I don't get it. Because I hate this movie. Hate's a strong word. I just dislike this movie. It's the worst Harry Potter. It's not the worst Wizarding World, because I will say Crimes of Grindelwald is still worse. But yeah, it's just...
I don't even know what you're referring. There's only 8 movies in the series.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We can just delete the other 2. But no, yeah, this one's just not great. I'm not a fan.
Mike, this movie I blame Chris Columbus for because he's a terrible, terrible director. What do you think about Chamber of Secrets?
I don't hate it as much as other people, but I do agree it is the worst Harry Potter, for sure. I don't love it either. You know, it's right in the middle for me. But yeah, it is very overlong. I think that's what kills it for most people, including me.
Do you hate any Harry Potter films? I'm curious now.
No.
Fine then. Next movie. Boom! Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. 2.5 stars.
We're on a roller coaster.
Where's the fucking heart?
The heart on Chamber of Secrets is a mistake, we'll say. But I'm
finding a lot of mistakes.
I am a mistake. There's literally 5 of the 8 that I think are good, and the other 3 I think are pretty atrocious. And it's this one, and Chamber, and Order of the Phoenix. So the 3 that I think are the bad ones that I just don't love and I don't enjoy watching. I think that everything else in the franchise is either like only one of them is fine, the other 4 are great. So it's like, I think end of the day, this one is just super long, and it doesn't need to be this long. You can cut a lot of this out and still have it make sense. I don't understand what we're doing for half this movie. I don't get it. I'm not a fan. The only thing I really like is the ending with Dumbledore. But yeah, the last act of this movie with Dumbledore is all I really give a shit about in this movie.
This is probably the worst adaptation of all. They literally left half the book on the cutting floor. I really don't. I mean, the only reason you would like this movie a lot because it's not a bad movie. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I like some people say it's their favorite movie. The only way I can see
Tim
that
McCullough's favorite movie.
the only way I can see that happening is if you never read the books and you just took what it was given to you. Matt Queller, how do you feel about the Half-Blood Prince? Because I know your team partner loves this movie.
Now, I agree with Koho 100% on Chamber of Secrets, but this one here is probably about my fourth favorite out of the bunch. So, right there in the middle.
I think mine is in the lower half, but still, it is better than Chamber of Secrets. Next movie. Thor: The Dark World, 2.5 stars. This movie is worse than Captain Marvel. I'm telling you that right now.
It's not.
I don't know what the hell happened to you, man. You used to be a little woke. You lost it.
I don't know how long it's been since you've seen The Dark World. But is The Dark World great? No.
I never saw it after I saw it in theaters.
There you go. Because I watched this movie this year again, and it's not as bad as I remember it being. Like, it was actually pretty decent. Is the villain terrible? Absolutely. Everything on Earth is not great, but everything on Asgard kind of rips. Like, Loki is really good in this one. The idea, like, Jane and Thor on Asgard and Thor breaking Loki out, and that entire sequence was really cool. I think there's a lot of things in this that work and are cool, and a lot of things in this that really don't work and are awful. End of the day, Thor: The Dark World is not great and one of the most forgettable movies in the franchise, but there's still more to like in The Dark World than to like in Captain Marvel, because I think Captain Marvel fails fundamentally at being an MCU movie and at being a movie period, whereas Thor: The Dark World still definitely fits into the MCU canon, and because of Infinity War and Endgame, they make it an integral piece that you need to watch now. But like, I think The Dark World just works more as a movie than Captain Marvel does, and that's what really frustrated me, because if you'd asked me in February, I'd have told you Captain Marvel is better than The Dark World. And this last rewatch, I was like, is Captain Marvel actually the worst one? Yeah, probably. And that's why I was just like, and that's what sucks, is because I would have really liked Captain Marvel to be good, because she's one of my like actual favorite ones in the Marvel Comics canon. So I was like, that sucks. But
the lack of wokeness is palpable.
Fair.
Matt Queller, what do you think about Thor 2?
I find it interesting you thought the movie where Jane Foster's pretty much a prop the whole movie was better than Captain Marvel.
Oh, yay.
I'm telling you, man. Mike.
Yes.
Hold on to your pants.
Oh, no.
Boom.
Oh, you fuck that. No. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the end of the fucking show right here. God
we
damn
still need more 15 more minutes. Come on, bring him in. What the fuck, man? You don't like dinosaurs?
I don't really think the Jurassic Park franchise is great. I think there's only two good movies. It's the first one and Jurassic World are the only two that I think are good. I think this one is very phoned in. It focuses a lot on Jeff Goldblum, which I think is an improvement. He's my favorite part of the first one. I think he's the best part of the first one. So making him the lead was a very smart choice. He's very charismatic. He's a great lead. Julianne Moore is a fine addition. Vince Vaughn's a fine addition. We just don't get enough time with them in a way where I give a shit about them. The dino action isn't that cool in this one, which is what disappoints me. Because like the dino action in the first one is a lot better and a lot more fun, and actually means a lot more to the story, and it's really great. The first Jurassic Park is so great that it's like, dude, just trying to do it again with like an actual villain that is super not compelling, and the dinosaur action doesn't quite work, and it's a bummer, because you would think another Jurassic Park from Spielberg would be dope, but it wasn't. And it's like, I know Spielberg could make one that would be great again, but he was just kind of like probably too busy making Amistad and just forgot that he was making this movie and wanted money. But I don't know.
I'm gonna let Mike tell you why you're wrong. Come on.
At least you didn't say Jurassic Park 3 is better than
This
this.
is the worst one. Worst one.
Okay.
Oh
You're
God.
not kicked from this fucking call.
No.
You're not completely kicked from
Fallen
this call,
Kingdom, sir. Fallen Kingdom is worse than Jurassic Park 3.
You know what? That's fair. That's actually fair. I'll agree with that. I'll change my opinion. I'll agree with that.
Next one. Oh my God, and the wokeness. Terminator, the woke version.
I swear you're going after me. No, I really liked the first two Terminators, and I also don't even really hate the third one. The Rise of the Machines isn't that bad. Salvation's not great. Genesis is not great, but it was kind of fun. This was really, really fun for the first act. And then when we get to old Arnold, I'm like, okay. But then the third act just goes on and on and on and on to the point where I don't give a shit. Kill them. I don't care. Just make the movie end. It's too long. The action is boring by the time we get to the third act. I think there's nothing wrong with the story. It's just it goes on way too long to the point where I don't care anymore. And the twist was so dumb. The twist of like now that Sarah Connor, John Connor is dead, we move it, and now there's a new person who's the new Sarah Connor, and her son will be the new John Connor. Like, I think that's dumb. I think that's kind of dumb. As someone who really likes the first two, you kind of set us up on the idea that we needed John Connor, like he is the face of the future in the Resistance. So to kill him and then be like, there has to be a John Connor, so we're gonna make it this rando kid that we threw in this movie. It's kind of like, okay, all right, fine, whatever, it's fine. But like, I did not like Dark Fate as much as I wanted to. I was super excited for this movie.
Female and minority, man. And you just fucking tracked it. That was actually a side thing because I really like this movie. I think Dark Fate is actually really good. I can understand. It's not like it doesn't dawn on me that killing John Connor is kind of like a bitch because it basically negates 2 movies worth of story that are actually pretty fucking great movies. But we tried John Connor to the bone. Nick Stahl was John Connor, then Christian Bale was John Connor, then what's the name of that fucking guy that was John Connor in Genesis? Something Clark? Jason Clark.
Yeah.
The John Connor wasn't working, so they tried something different, and to me it worked. I actually really enjoyed it. If I forget every other movie and I just take 1, 2, and this one, it's fine. Matt Queller, are you woke enough, sir, for this movie?
I mean, Mackenzie Davis is in it, so I'm happy, but it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she hot.
Yeah. that might be a warm take, but yeah.
The Happy Time Murders. 2.5.
Yeah, it's coming.
And a heart again. Do you not like puppets, sir, or do you just don't like puppets that come on the fucking torso?
So is this movie good? No. Did I kind of have a good time watching it? Yeah. I watched this in theaters. I enjoyed myself. I didn't think it was like an abomination of cinema like everyone else. But I thought it was not good, but fun bad. I shouldn't like it. I think the heart is overkill because I did give it 2.5 stars, which is generous enough. But yeah, this movie's fine. I had fun with it. I don't know.
I kind of like this movie. I understand why it's not for everybody. But yeah, basically, this is a bunch of puppeteers who spent 20 years of their lives doing children stuff, and then, like, they just wanted to vent and do fucking dirty things with puppets. So fair, I guess. Why did they have to put it on theaters? I don't know. Mike, This is your favorite puppet movie. Why?
It's not my favorite puppet movie. I did not really have fun with this movie at all. pretty fucking terrible. The heart, I still don't understand Koho's heart.
That's overkill. I'm sorry. That was overkill.
Weird.
That was overkill.
But
It shouldn't be.
but they
Shouldn't
snort
be
the
there.
sugar like it's Coke.
So fucking dumb.
It's fucking great. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Next movie, Batman versus Dracula, 2.5 stars. I own this Blu-ray, motherfucker.
I own this too. I own this movie too because as a child, the Batman was the one that was airing while I was a kid.
Batman.
The Batman, a good TV show? No, maybe.
It is. It is.
I love it. I don't care what people think. I love the Batman show. I thought that's the Batman the animated series is my favorite. Like I'm not a moron. I grew up on that one as much as I grew up on the Batman, but the Batman was the one that was airing while I was a kid. So when this came out, I watched the fuck out of it. It scared the shit out of me when he kills the Joker. I was like, what the fuck? 2.5 stars, just because I don't think this movie actually really holds up as well as it did to me as a kid, but I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I think it's fun. If you didn't like the Batman or the designs of the characters for the Batman, you're really not going to like this movie. But I enjoy it. 2.5 stars, though, is me being realistic in that it's probably really not a great movie, but as a kid, I fucking loved it.
I want to take this one. Yes, Batman the Animated Series and the whole canon going through Superman and Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, all that shit is fucking gold. That is like the top standard for animation. But they definitely needed to do something after JLU ended. So they decided to go with a different approach, a more kid-friendly approach, basically a modernized, a slightly darker version of the Batman 66 series, which is what this is. 13 episodes a year for 5 years. I actually really love the whole series. Is the one I'm currently watching with my kid. He is taking it like it's fucking candy. We started watching it last week, and he already is 2 seasons deep. We're about to start season 3. But yeah, even when that came out, I don't remember if it was during the show or after the show. The tone of it is different because this is more supernatural bent than the show itself. The show itself has fucking craziness because it's Batman, but it's also very grounded. I actually really like the twist in the show that they did with Clayface, that they made Clayface a friend of Bruce Wayne, and then they make a switch later in I think 4th or 5th season. It's actually pretty great. This series and movie is better than The Brave and the Bold, and I stick by that.
Agreed.
Brave and the Bold has the Music Meister, and that's about it. Okay, moving on, because nobody cared about this except me. Brokeback Mountain, scrapping by with 3 stars. Jesus, do I need to ask you about your watch list?
I didn't love it. It's good. It's a good movie. 3 stars means it's a good movie. It's not a Koho movie. Not like for any reason except I don't gravitate to Heath Ledger in this movie. I think Jake Gyllenhaal should have won the fucking Oscar. He's amazing in this movie.
He couldn't quit him though.
That's true. He couldn't quit him. No, I didn't. It's not for me. I just didn't really care for it. The story didn't really grab me. I don't know. I mean, I didn't do myself any favors because I watched this the day of the title match with also Juno, Manchester by the Sea, and Midnight in Paris. I watched all 4 of those in one stretch, and this was my least favorite of the 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was more so. I was just really shocked that I knew I was going to love Juno. I was pretty shocked that I liked Midnight in Paris. And I was actually pretty shocked at how much I actually liked Manchester by the Sea. So this was the one that just hit the least. So that probably affected its rating too. But I didn't love it. Didn't love it.
This is probably the best of those 4 movies. Manchester by the Sea second. Juno doesn't hold up well. I
think it works.
I like Jason Reitman a lot, but that movie,
it's very, very 2007, and you're either on board with it or you're not, and that's fair.
That movie is his Budapest Hotel, man. And yeah, Midnight in Paris, I'm not a fan, but Matt Quiller, do you like gay cowboys in the woods?
Of course. As long as they're eating pudding in the tent and stuff, you're good to go. I did have to look up and see how many stars he gave Crash, and it was only 2 stars. So
Hate Crash.
I was gonna give so. I mean,
I
3
did not
stars.
include that because that, my friends. Well, actually, that's a pretty warm take. Nobody likes Crash. Fuck, I fucked up. Boom! Female lead 90s movie Disney barely good.
I have been very outspoken that I think Mulan is overrated. I love the music of Mulan. I think the songs are all really good. I think the story is fine. I think Mulan's performance herself is awful. Like the voice work, I think it's Ming-Na Wen who plays her. She is not good in this movie whatsoever. BD Wong is
the doctor from Jurassic Park, yes.
Yeah.
well, I mean he's the guy in this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't. Mulan's fine. I never really gravitated to it as a kid. That was one of my lesser favorite ones, and then just every time I've gone back to it, I've never understood the intense love for it. In the 90s Disney canon, this is my second or third least favorite of the decade. It's really hard when this comes out with like Lion King and Hunchback and Hercules and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, which I all think are all better. I think this and Tarzan and Pocahontas at the bottom of the decade for me.
Ouch.
I think Mulan is better. No, it's not. Mulan's better than Tarzan and Pocahontas for sure, but I definitely don't put it above the others. And it doesn't hit as strongly.
Tarzan is in my top 10 Disney movies of all time. You are fucking crazy. Phil Collins for the win. Mike, you are a resident expert in animation. How do you feel about this take on Mulan?
I enjoy the shit out of Mulan, so yeah. Not a good fucking take from Mulan, but at least he gave it a positive score, so I can't completely hate him for it.
Like, I understand why people love it. I just think it's a little overrated.
Fair. I don't know. It was positive. This is why it's warm. Halloween, the 2018 version. 3 stars and a heart. I love them hearts. Why so low though? This is probably the best sequel Halloween has ever had.
So I haven't seen any Halloween movie but this one. That's my thing. Is like
Have you seen the first one?
No. I'm saying this is my only Halloween movie that I've ever seen. So that's why, like, when I watched it, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I had a really good time, but I also didn't quite understand everything. So I left it at 3 stars because I knew I'm probably gonna like the other ones more. This is a good movie. I don't love it because I don't have an attachment to any of the characters. I don't have an attachment to Laurie Strode. But this was a really fun movie and a really fun time, and I really enjoyed my theatrical experience with it. And now that it's coming to fandom, I get to watch all of them in a row and then end it with this, which I really enjoyed. So I'm like, it's good. I like this movie. It's a good movie.
I do not know if you're gonna like the other ones better, except the first one.
Fair.
To me, this is the second best Halloween movie for the franchise, but I mean, I don't know. That's me. Mike, you like horror. What do you think about this?
He said everything's good. He gave a reasoning why he has it at 3 stars, so I can't hate him for it. Do I agree that he probably won't like the rest of the Halloweens, with the exception of the first and maybe the second? Probably. But yeah, I can't hate him for this because, like he said, this is the only one he's watched, and he left it at 3 stars because he's waiting to see the rest of them.
Matt Queller, where does this rank on your Halloween pantheon?
I think I'm on the same boat as you guys. I'd probably put it as number 2. But I'm willing to bet right here that he'll probably rank H2O higher.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say that. I was like, if I got to pick one of the Halloween movies.
Is it meta horror?
No.
Okay, never mind.
But it's very, very fucking 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna like it more though, because I am not a fan of 90s nostalgia for the most part. Hence why Captain Marvel doesn't work.
But what I mean is very, very 90s slasher movie.
Yeah.
Like Scream without or like I Know What You Did Last Summer, that vibe. Yeah, that's H2O.
Okay, then I will probably like it.
Also, you probably need a roadmap to understand the logic about these movies. because I think there's now like 4 different timelines. The only one they all agree on is the first one. Everything else is just like a tree of a branch of a thing. So yeah, I'll send you the map after the show because.
Okay.
Whew! Okay. Next movie. Boom! Pain and Glory from Almodovar. 3 stars. I'm actually kind of surprised you actually went and watched the fucking movie.
I did.
This movie's great. I'm not gonna say it's a hot take because you had a positive review, but it's kind of low, dude.
It's good. I am not a fan of Almodovar style. Not like this is my introduction to him, and I can already tell you I'm probably not gonna like the rest of his filmography. Because I've been told this is probably his most accessible one.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not a fan of the most accessible, he's probably not my director, and that is fair. I respect it. It's not a bad movie at all. I think Antonio Banderas is very good. I see why he got nominated. I personally probably wouldn't have nominated him just because it's a really, really, really stacked year, and I gravitated to a couple other performances more, i.e. Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. But I'm not mad that he got nominated. He's given a good performance. I really like Penelope Cruz in this movie. I think she's good. But she's also supposedly really good in all of his movies. So
She fucking is, yeah.
but yeah, no, this is good. I didn't watch the Almodovar movies for our match because Cam did, and was what he wanted to do. So you take them, and I've seen one of these, so I'll help you on any Pain and Glory questions.
I'll say, watch Volver.
Okay.
That's this one and that one are probably the high quality ones that I think are more accessible. And then decide if you're gonna take the fucking deep dive, because if you do, The Skin I Live In. So fucking.
I think that is Cam's favorite one, right? It's either that one or what's the one where everyone gets roofied on an airplane?
Oh fucking, that's just trash.
That's his favorite one.
Cameron Holtzman doesn't know what the fuck he's talking
Listen,
about.
he told me that Almodovar is sad, horny, and loves his mom, and that's every single movie.
Except that one.
Except that one, which is why he loves it the most.
Yikes. Boom.
Yeah.
As good as Pain and Glory.
Yeah.
As good as Pain and Glory, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, Sonic is a lot better than I thought it would be. It's not like an amazing revolutionary piece of film, but it's a fun time. It's a good family film. I think Jim Carrey is really solid. I thought he was really fun. It was fun seeing Jim Carrey back to kind of glory day comedic form. He was on point. I forgot that James Marsden can actually kind of act. So he did a fine job in this. I like Sonic, not as like a property, but like I liked Sonic in this movie. This was a good introduction to like the world of Sonic for me. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a good movie. It was a fun time.
Matt Queller, do you think this movie would have been better or worse with the original Sonic design?
That
Worse.
it would be a better horror film with the original design for sure.
True.
But,
True.
but yeah, I actually agree with Cable on this one. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So
This is the final movie I took my kid to the theaters before the pandemic, and he seemed to enjoy it very, very much. But I've always wondered, how would have Tails looked with that original design? Interesting. Rounding the couple of last movies here. Aha! The Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson. Shooting you, Jesus, down your throat. 3 stars.
I have always wondered as an adult how this was allowed to happen, that Mel Gibson, a raging anti-Semite, got to tell the death of Jesus in film. This movie's good. It's fine. This is a movie that I had to watch for like Passover, Ash Wednesday every like year or so at my church. It's a movie I've seen a couple times. It's not like a spectacular film, but it's good. Like he does exactly what he's trying to do, and it's effective as fuck. Like you wince, and like as someone who's not like a horror fan, when blood, let me explain. I'm not a horror fan, so when blood to that extent is used in a movie, it affects me. So like I think it's an effective movie at what it's trying to do. So 3 stars. It's fine. I'm never gonna watch this movie again until maybe the sequel. I'll watch the movie again for the sequel.
This movie is a weird. I mean, it is weird for many reasons. One, it's very, very decisive on the one they want to show you. They pick a very specific piece of the Bible. They don't even give you the run-in or the aftermath. It's just like,
Yeah.
we're gonna start here and we're gonna end here, and we're just gonna fucking show you the whipping.
We're just gonna show you that one portion.
Yeah. Also, the fucking whipping though. I mean, they actually made a recut version for a reason, because I think they realized it was a little overkill.
Yeah.
I saw them whip the man for 10 straight minutes, and I thought, like, fuck, finally, it's over. No, they just flip him around and keep whipping him.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
brutal.
And literally, Jesus.
Literally, Jesus.
Jim Caviezel.
You think Jesus, like, it could in real life said his own name when he was kidding?
Fuck.
He could. He technically could. He could have seen everything at once. Just Jesus.
He's like, Jesus, come on. I think Jim Caviezel is the second best Jesus Christ on screen. Willem Dafoe is
Agreed.
number 1. Apparently, this is a horror movie now,
No,
Mike. So
okay.
you are our expert. What do you feel about the whipping?
I think Kevin Smith said it best in Evening with Kevin Smith, where he goes, "Let's beat the fuck out of Jesus." That's the entire fucking movie. Shit out of him.
No, actually,
I don't know if I wanted to be a comedy or not, but god damn, do they overkill beating the shit out of him.
Actually, I take this back. I would 100% see how Mel Gibson got to make this movie.
Like, yeah, fucking psycho.
He's a sociopath.
The Man in the Iron Mask, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeremy Irons, Malkovich, Gabriel Byrne, and I forgot the French guys. Gerard Depardieu. 3 stars. It's kind of low.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. It's good. I remember it being good. Yeah. It took me until I was about 13 to realize that this was an adaptation of a book sequel to the Three Musketeers and was not an actual sequel to the Charlie Sheen Three Musketeers movie. I was just like, wow, they got old fast, didn't they? I think it's good. I think Jeremy Irons is solid. I think everyone really is solid in this movie. Leo is really good from what I remembered. Could honestly be higher if I ever rewatched it again, but yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Probably not, though.
Probably not.
Matt, you like this better than Titanic. Why?
Oh, better than Titanic. Yeah, there's a lot more swords in this than Titanic, that's for sure. Although I will say, if you put Oliver Platt in this, it's a much better movie.
Agreed. Yeah. Oliver Platt is so good. I love him in the Three Musketeers.
Porthos, Athos, what? Is he Porthos?
Porthos is Gerard Depardieu and...
No, I mean, but Oliver Platt was Porthos.
Yeah.
Agreed too, then.
He's so good. Come, D'Artagnan. We're going to save the king.
Rent!
Yep.
This movie sucks. Why 3 stars?
I don't think it sucks. I think it's fine. It's not nearly as good as the stage show, but as an adaptation of the stage show, it hits the important bits. It hits everything that it needs to cover in its runtime. It's not a perfect version, but I liked it. It was fine.
500, how much is the fucking thing? 5,000?
525,600.
600 minutes, yeah. This movie is Showgirls, man. Everybody got AIDS. Mr. DVD, Mike Hanley, why you love this musical so much?
I think it's all right. It's good. Like, I don't hate it. I don't love it. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of musicals, so I can't really judge if this is a great fucking musical compared to everything else. My favorite musical is Cannibal the Musical. Fuck it. Like,
That's a very good musical.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we should redo that episode of Why Your List Sucks with me and Mike. It's going to be a completely different list. Good shit. Boom. Pixels. 3 fucking stars and a heart.
And a heart. Yeah, you giving out those hearts like fucking candy at this point.
I kind of like Pixels. I didn't hate it. I actually kind of really liked it. In a lot of ways, I thought it was one of the better Adam Sandler movies this decade because I had seen a lot of dog shit from him, and then I saw this one. I was like, this is actually pretty fun. I don't know. It gave me like. Here's the thing. I like Paul Blart Mall Cop. That's my favorite Adam Sandler adjacent movie. I think that movie is super fucking fun. Pixels gave me a lot of Paul Blart vibes in a lot of ways. In that sort of way. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's like not like a masterpiece or anything, but it was fun.
Definitely not a masterpiece. Yeah.
I liked it. It was fun.
The disrespect to Sandy Wexler is palpable, sir. Matt Queller, how do you cheat at Pac-Man?
Well, you got to ask the guy from King of Kong about that one. I mean, I love the short film that this is based on, and I think that if you would have given this to someone maybe other than Sandler and his camp, and they took it a little bit more seriously, it would have been a really interesting movie. But
I'm pretty sure Chris Columbus also had a hand in this.
Yeah.
He straight up directed this one.
oh, okay, that explains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris Columbus is a good director.
Boom! San Andreas, 3 stars. This is The Rock's best action movie, according to some people. Why just 3 stars?
It was fun. It was fun. I didn't see this since 2015. I remember seeing it in theaters. That was cool. It's a good disaster movie. It's a fine time. It's fun. It's
Mike,
harmless.
do you like earthquakes and flooding and helicopters?
Okay, so the last couple years, I went to go see all of his movies only for one reason and one reason only, and that was to hear
Alexandra
him come
Daddario?
out to his music. That's all I wanted in life, was for him to walk out to his music in a fucking movie for no reason. And I finally got that with Fighting With My Family, even though, it fucking worked for that, so it made sense. But yeah, these movies are fucking ridiculous. I love making fun of them because it's so fucking crazy. Disaster movie wise, yeah, this is on the low totem pole.
Moving on. Skyscraper. This is The Rock's best action movie, according to some people. Why so low?
The Rock doing Die Hard is everything I needed in life, apparently. It was fun. I thought this was a good time. I don't know why people came out of the theater saying this was dog shit, because I was like, this is good. It was fine. I genuinely don't see anything super special about it or anything super abysmal about it. I thought it was a right down the middle, fun, pretty forgettable, but in the moment, fun, good time action movie. I thought The Rock had a lot of fun. You could tell he's having a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun watching him hang off of shit. So,
My biggest impression from this movie is that Nev Campbell is fine still. Matt Queller, why do you like the movie with the guy with one leg jumping to the building in the China?
I think this actually restores Koho's woke status because he gave a film with a disabled person 3 stars.
He barely made it, huh?
I also give a musical about people with AIDS 3 stars also. So
He's balancing that shit out. Good shit. So, for the final movie of today's episode,
oh boy, where are we going?
boom! Oh, wait.
Yeah!
We cannot talk about this. This is not a movie.
Fuck you.
That's it.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I've seen Hamilton 10 times this year. It's a movie.
It's not a
Not
movie.
really, no. So, that's about it. Thank you for joining us for an hour and 20 minutes. I think.
Yeah,
Just about.
good times.
I always forget about the outro music. So I also did that today. What's the name of the song from Ghostbusters 2?
Not sure. I've never seen. Fun fact, another thing. I've never seen a Ghostbusters film.
What?
I've never seen a Ghostbusters movie, but I'm very excited to see Afterlife. So when Afterlife comes out, I'm gonna watch all of them in a row.
You do realize that you probably need to watch 1 and 2 before Afterlife, right?
And watch the third one and not care
No,
about.
he watches the remakes first. Did
Oh
you
right,
check
I gotta
the
watch
first?
2016, and then I gotta watch 84, and then 2. No, I'm gonna watch 1 and 2 right before I get to Afterlife.
Oh, okay, got it.
Thank Thanks to the Caleb the King pirate man Koho for showing up and giving us this fucking trash text for an hour and a half. Thanks to Mike Halley for waking up and showing up. Thanks to Matt Queller for buying our shit.
Yeah.
Buying our shit! The link is down there. This has been the Warm Takes. We're probably going to try to make this a little bi-monthly thing, like 2 a month, 2 weeks. Hang up!